Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. Thank you all for joining here. Right, and my name is Priya Rana, and I, along with my colleague Kavya, and we are here to welcome Yukub sir. So, Mr. Yukub is an experienced chief technology officer with a demonstrated history of working in the computer software industry. He is a scientific officer in the National Space Research and Development Agency in Abuja. Welcome here, sir, and it is really an honor to have you here with us today. Right, how are you, sir? Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Welcome, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Briefly introduction. My name is Yukub Umron, and working in the agency here in Nigeria. And thank you for having me here.
So your video is not visible actually.
Okay, sorry. Okay, okay. Can you see me now?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay, okay. Hello.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Kavya, can
Okay.
you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. Am I not audible? Hello.
I'm audible. I can hear you guys, but I don't know if you guys can see me. Okay.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Hello, sir.
So you are
Hello.
audible,
Hello.
sir.
Hello.
Uh, so, sir, let's start. And firstly, how long have you been in this field, sir?
How long have I been in the industry?
Yes, sir.
I started working professionally since 2018. I've been a scientific research officer at the Space Agency here since 2018. That's about 4 years ago. That's how long I've been here. But I've been doing cybersecurity long before then. I've been learning, even like not for work per se. Sometimes I just do it for my own knowledge because I love the security aspect of internet and it's something fun, I think.
Yes, sir. Kavya, are you able to speak? Kavya?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Yukub sir. I'm
Good
Kavya.
evening.
So I'm working as a cybersecurity content writer in Fireshark. Yukub
Okay,
sir, it's great to have you here with us today.
thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's time to interact with our speaker of the day now. Sir, to begin with, what do you do as a scientific officer, sir, in this field?
Okay, I work with the mission planning unit, whereby we do research when there is a space program. Maybe they organize, we are trying to do a space program, launching a satellite on all. I work with the mission planning, where we do research for necessary materials. We build on necessary materials for those that are implementing it. We do the main research for those who are implementing the technology, and different aspects I do with the software. I also help with the network and the security, and I come up with blueprints for some of the softwares and all that. Also, hello, you hear me?
Okay, so how do you view your current job, sir? Like, is it great? Is it fun? How do you feel about it?
Sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes it can be stressful. Um, I think it's everywhere. But because I enjoy the field of security, something like I enjoy doing. It's not like something I just got a job because I want to fill space. So the passion there, it's what I've had is what is helping me more, and it's something you enjoy doing. So you want to wake up every day to go and do the job because it's not just about being paid. It's something you love doing also. I love doing it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Coming to our main theme of the day, that's work from
Okay.
home. So, working is a way of life for everyone. But with the onset of COVID working, it has become a difficult task since no one can go out. So, at a crisis like this, working online through internet from home saved everyone's job and education and other machinery working. So, but with such a change in lifestyle, the attack space for cyber criminals, it has also become a huge today. So today we are going to explore about various threats while working from home by listening to a renowned expert in this field. So, sir, what do you think about this work from home scenario? Like,
Since the pan. Okay,
oh,
hello.
yes, sir.
I didn't get the last part, but
Okay, what do you think about this work from home scenario? What are your thoughts about it?
it's kind of interesting, and I think the pandemic that just happened has moved a lot of companies to go start working online because of like the restriction on uh, personal space where you don't want to contact COVID. So a lot of organization they won't just want to stop working, so they had to come up with a way, and which is also that engage their styles where they can work from home. And I think it has helped a lot. Um, it has helped a lot with the various with people, various company, whereby it's not that their staff are just at home. They can start. They are also impacting. They're also working um, from home, like contributing their own quota to the company, where organization give you tax and all that, instead of just holding up like, okay, until we meet now. And most of these companies, like also the space company, like things that time sensitive, information sometimes are time sensitive. So if, let's say, because of this and people stopped working, because of example the pandemic, people stopped working, um, it will have been bad for a lot of companies. But now that the work from home has been embedded, now people are going to go back to work, but I don't think everybody wants to go back to the office space to work. So it's kind of important also. Like people are now working from home, and because of this, point like security endpoint, like where before you just like get people in the office, then attack the office or something. But now it's no longer that ITs don't manage your infrastructure at your home. So you yourself right now you are in charge of your own security, which is also a challenge. But people have been coming up with best practices, principles to make this easy for everybody to work.
Okay. So, sir, can you tell us about various benefits of working from home? Like after this pandemic, what do you think are the benefits of working from home?
The benefits of working from home, like you have this first you have this commute, like where you commute to work, for example, like where I worked before, I have to drive like about half an hour to get to my office. Now that time is no longer, I don't spend that 1.5 hour trying to get to my office space anymore. I can just like maybe 5 minutes is enough for me to just set up my work environment and start working. That is one, the commute aspect. Two, also, um, people like are now can now work in different places where you don't have to be in the location of your company. Hello, you don't have to be at the location of your company for you to actually be productive. So you can one of the benefits is you having your own personal time and schedule where you feel you are comfortable to work. Do some organizations, they like put office time, even though you are working from home, you have to be online, maybe through Slack and other softwares they use. So it's convenient, one, because you don't have to go out that much. I think that will do. Did that answer the question?
Yes, sir. Okay. And also, sir, what do you think are the various challenges that we face once we work from home? When we work from home, there will be challenges that come in with that. So, what do you think are the various challenges that we face once we work from home?
Mm, one of them, I think, is this challenge of managing your security yourself. Now, in an effort, like I said, in this office environment, you have IT department who are configuring like reducing the attack. Now, but you at home, you have to be aware. Now, another one is let's say uh, you are not you alone, maybe you are tech savvy, but maybe your family members are not tech savvy. Somebody can just come and play with your computer from your family members. It's also a challenge. And also like developing countries like my country, where we have light issues, power issues, like you can be working and they just take off the light without warning. They cut power without warning. This is also a challenge. Then we have these zero-day attacks where you don't patch your operating system early, then people use that vulnerability, zero-day attack, like to attack those operating system or softwares that have not been updated because maybe you have to do it and sometimes you don't know that there are updates. Then if you are in an organization, the IT department will do all those for you. But now you have to do everything yourself.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Uh-huh.
have you ever worked from home? Like, have you ever worked from home?
Yeah. I work from home. For like I report to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do most of my work from home. Tuesdays and Thursdays I go there to present what I have done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, so have you
Just
faced
to
any cyber attacks when you were working from home? Like, have you
uh,
faced any difficulties or have you faced any challenges during working from home?
Challenges like I said, light, power as one of them. Then internet connectivity, where you have to provide your internet service. In organization, the office will just do everything for you. Now, sometimes in your area, maybe due to some problem, you don't have your internet connectivity can go off. I face that a lot here. In organization, they provide that. You have redundancy, whereby okay, if this is not working now, they can switch to another network immediately for the organization. So one of the challenges I faced, even today, in the morning, I was trying to do my research and all of a sudden the network just went off. And it was kind of like annoying. I'm like, okay, if I was online, maybe doing something now, so they would have just spoiled my whole day and all that. And it's not nice.
Sir, as you mentioned, like you'll face some difficulties in the internet connection. So it's
Yeah,
like in a work from home situation, most people will use their personal hotspot or a Wi-Fi network that is shared by all the family members, right? So what are
yeah.
the various risks in that?
The risk can have like also like this sophisticated social engineering, whereby someone can just find their way. Maybe they come to do, they just find something to tell you that they need to get access to your house. Maybe they want to fix your TV or something else, and like they came, but it's kind of like a social engineering. They just need access to your system, and also like if you don't separate your work system from your personal system, you download like maybe movies and you don't know where you're downloading your stuffs from. They might embed some malicious code into some of those things you download. And in the office environment, maybe the antivirus or the firewall will block that before it gets into the network. But now you are at home, then they can attack you personally. Then your network, like um, you're sharing network, let's say with family members, devices. Some of these devices might not be secure enough, like your own device, so it can give attacker access to your network where they find vulnerable member on your website, on your network, at home network. They find a vulnerable device and they gain access to the entire network. They can do all sort of malicious stuffs. And if you don't work properly with your updating your operating system. It's also a challenge. Then there's this thing called Zoom bombing, where at first people started using Zoom, and they have these attacks, people coming into attack the Zoom, but I think they fixed it. For other softwares also, they just use Zoom bombing as example for all. When there was a time where you're having a conference, then an attacker can just bomb or enter your like just like this, an attacker can just come in and start like doing malicious stuff, advertising, or just disrupting the meeting itself. It's also one of them. Then like the storage aspect also. You want to store your sensitive data, and maybe you want to store them on your own device. A lot of if thief, like a thief intruder, just get into your house and steal your laptop, they've stolen like sensitive data from your laptop. But if you are saving them, let's say the company cloud storage provider, now which if it is encrypted better, now they can't have access to that because most of your office documents, they are on the cloud, and like you need a certain access permission before you can have access to them.
Yes, sir. And to add to a challenge there, when we are working in the office of a company, so over there we can ensure that proper security personnel are there, and the data is also secured, properly in proper lockers or under locking key. But at home, that cannot be ensured always. Anybody can walk into your home, or even if they don't do that, they can tap into your network, because then that is not very far-fetched. It is still accessible to people around you. So that again becomes a challenge. And then there is shoulder surfing as well. So people could just watch what you're doing. So that again, because you're not just giving away your information, you're giving away the information of the entire company. That entire trade secrets can be revealed like that.
Yeah. Then let me add to that. Sorry. And there's this ransomware. Let's say if somebody can just come in and maybe he got a flash from outside. He doesn't know what is inside, and you just come maybe plug in into your computer. Then ransomware can enter because you give them access. So if you don't restrict people around you from getting close to your work devices, they can because they are not tech savvy to some extent, they don't know the damages they are doing to you. So it's also a huge problem.
Yes,
like you were saying, the webcam also, there have been recent attacks on webcams where you don't know, somebody can get access into your webcam, and they start seeing things around you. If you have sensitive information around you, they can just pick it up, access your camera, and start picking things. So one of the measures to do that, you see plenty of people covering their cameras. Some people uninstall their camera drivers, but they also need it, for example, for their Zoom meeting. So you see another issue. And most of these people, let's say, we have people who are not, they are just maybe administrators, like the HR. They're not just tech savvy. They can be careless because they don't even know the threat around them. So companies also need to do training to the staff so that they can drill this security, what do they call it, principle into the staffs. Hello. Did you get that?
Yes, sir. Sir, you mentioned about shoulder surfing, right? So can you give us more insight on shoulder surfing?
So what did you call? What did you say? Sorry.
Sir, you mentioned about shoulder surfing. So can you give us more insight on shoulder surfing, like what it is, how it works?
Sorry. You said I mentioned what? Sorry, I didn't get the question properly.
Okay, sir, you mentioned about shoulder surfing.
Okay, shoulder surfing.
Yeah, can you give us more insight about it? Like, how does it work?
How does it work? Shoulder surfing.
Yes,
You are working from they're working from home, and somebody just working, or a guest, your friend, your brother, or a family member guest, but you don't know this person is just working around you. Then your password. Some people like used to write their password on their system because they don't want to forget. Somebody can just see that. Then people can see maybe sensitive documents that you've opened in your system. Like you without knowing somebody is just peeping around you. Like they get sensitive information. They read what you are doing without you knowing. Let's say, for example, you're working from a cafe. You don't want to work from when you just move out to go to a cafe and start working. Then people from there can just be walking around. You don't know who is malicious and who is that, and people can be watching you and getting information from you without you knowing.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Sir, I have a question. You just now
Yeah,
mentioned about working from a cafe. So, since you're not working from the office directly, you're still
yeah,
working from another location, like let's say a cafe or a restaurant. So, does that
yeah.
count as work from home, or does that count as something else?
Yeah, there's this thing where it's work from home, but it's not work from anywhere. So whereby um some people literally take it like you can work from anywhere, which is not appropriate to some extent. We need like um, mapping, connectivity mapping. Organizations need to implement like connectivity mapping where they know each device or each person, where they are connecting from, so that they can mitigate the risk. Like you don't know where, like somebody can just go to a random cafe, but if you don't allow that particular area or to some extent to, you don't know where that is coming from. The organization don't know how to come where it's coming from. They should have a security measure whereby they force people to work from home. You can't work from the cafe, which is dangerous. But some people usually take like working from home to be like working from anywhere. So there still need to be education on that. People need to be aware that because we said work from home doesn't mean you can just go to a cafe or anywhere and start working, which is really dangerous. Let's say you just go to a hotel and you are connected to the hotel Wi-Fi, and people you don't know who else is connected to the Wi-Fi, and they're trying to just maybe they're sniffing the network, and so company needs to like enforce where you map connectivity so that they know, okay, if this is not coming from a particular place we've agreed that you can access this data from, they can stop you from connecting to it.
Sir, other than Zoom bombing and shoulder surfing, what are the other cyber attacks that can take place in a work from home scenario, right?
Oh, rans and phishing, especially like um, email phishing. You just receive a random link from somebody you don't know. Maybe like the person is even acting as somebody you know, and you know how attackers can just maybe twist one word from the let's say the original company. Let's say instead of L, they put I, but you don't know. You get you can go to a fake website. They try to behave like it's coming from the company, but if you are not careful, if you don't check the URL, phishing can actually happen. They can impersonate, let's say, your bank and give you a fake place to log in. Phishing is one of them. Then you have a ransomware, whereby they can just attack you. Then now you alone that if attack can give them access also to maybe other people on your network. But most companies use VPN, and so to help with that, but also um, um, if they have access also to that your VPN credentials, it is dangerous. And then we have a spyware. Spyware, you downloaded something that you don't know is working behind the scene. It is recording what you are doing. Example, like a keylogger, and somebody just come and install keylogger, or you don't know and run something keyloggers, and you have keylogger on your system. So they kind of get information spyware. Now, if in an organization, they should have proper, let's say, firewall to block all of this. And but you yourself, mm, maybe let's say HR person as it doesn't just know how to like log in, do the necessary, let's say, editing the documents and all that. But now other things are coming. You've downloaded malicious software without you knowing. Then there's this spyware. Then the zero-day attack also, where you don't patch your operating system or application. Some applications are out of date on your system. Then a malicious actor can come and use that vulnerability, because patches come with security update. If you don't patch your operating system and all that, like somebody can use that also to attack you, because they know, like, okay, this operating system, it has vulnerability, but you have not patched yours. So it's also one of the risks at home. Then you have this, if somebody can just randomly come into your house, maybe a friend, but it's trying to play cool. Like I said, the advanced social engineering, but you don't know he's trying to gain access to your system and do other things.
So you mentioned
Yes,
about
sir.
VPNs, right? And what happens is whenever you talk about security and having a work from home scenario, people will just throw around VPN, that is the solution, that you can use a VPN. So, but there are so many VPN providers out there, right? Every company is nowadays providing a VPN service. So is that really true? Are they really secure? Can you guarantee, or are they really guaranteed to have your data secure, or are actually they spying on you? They somehow might be a fraud or something like that.
Some of the VPN work, but also some VPN providers have this log of what you are doing, which is also dangerous. Like they keep record of your activity to some extent, but not every VPN service provider do that. So you have to be very careful also which VPN provider you use, so that you don't use a malicious VPN as provider where they store most of what you do. Then maybe they can sell it to people for advert and all that, or you don't even know what they might do with it. So also, like, so it's very important to have a proper VPN provider where you where, like, maybe they have other people are using, or the standard security standard, or it has been advised, like, a lot of, also there are also VPNs whereby uh, let's say government, like, can subpoena them to get info, because they have said they have logs of your communication, so they can subpoena them and get this information, like, from the government. You don't have direct encryption, because these other people are also saving your distance. So you have to be also aware, like, this VPN, it's not that it's a perfect solution. You need also other security measures from your own side. You don't reveal your password. Like I said, for example, somebody, because he doesn't want to forget the password, he writes it down on his system and all that. Then somebody just get the information for your VPN, so they have access to also your company VPN, because you are working from.
Sir, every systems will have vulnerabilities, right? So,
Yeah,
what are the vulnerabilities in a work from home scenario? So, which can be used as an advantage by this hacker?
vulnerability that can be take advantage from the hacker.
Yeah, sir.
Hmm. Like, I've mentioned some, I think, which is you don't patch your operating system or the software that you use. It's a vulnerability. Then the network, where you access your network, like other devices, can be on the same network with you. Your computer might be secured to some extent, but the network can, if your Wi-Fi is not secure, or there are vulnerable system on this the network in your home, then somebody also can gain access. If they can attack that particular device, which is not your own device, but it's connected to the same Wi-Fi, somebody can use that also to get information about the devices connected around, and know what to target and all that.
Okay. Sir, as you mentioned all these attacks, how do we, prevent us from getting any attacks? Can you suggest any preventive measures for any individuals?
One of them, I'll start, like, I'll list them. One of them is, like, you use antivirus and internet security software. You use antivirus, like a proper antivirus that will protect you from malicious software, e.g., Capacity and other antivirus provider. You also keep your devices away from your family members. If you can restrict access to where your work device is from your family members so that they don't just come and play with it and cause havoc without you knowing, then you use a proper VPN. Also, you have to secure your own Wi-Fi. Make sure your Wi-Fi is also secure from attack, and also make your password very strong so that it will not be guessable, which is one. Shield your webcam when not in use. For example, you can put a tape or you put a slider. There are different solutions to that now. Some people uninstall their drivers from their webcam. You can stay focused on physical security also. So that, let's say your house is not secure, thief can come in. If you don't secure your physical security around you now, somebody can just come in and just steal your laptop. So if you don't secure your environment, it's also dangerous. Also, you use two-factor authentication also, let's say, to access most of your company service. So they don't just they don't just have access, maybe your password alone. So they also need your code. So if you have two-factor authentication, it can help mitigate the risk. So somebody cannot just log in because you will have to confirm with the two-factor authentication also. I've had scenario where I'm just there, I just receive email, somebody is trying to reset my password. They send me a code. Now, if the person doesn't have code with my code, they cannot access my Facebook. Now I use that also like, okay, I need to go and change my password. Somebody's trying to attack my Facebook. So I know you've sent me, I didn't do this. Why am I receiving like a code to reset my password, which is not what I did? So now, because of that, the two-factor authentication can help. Then use of centralized storage, like I said before, you don't keep company data on your system. You store them online, and so that these company will take care of the security of those data for you. Then also another thing is try to separate your work computer from your leisure computer. So one you used to download film or you used to solve the internet, you should separate it from work also if possible. I know it can be quite expensive, but I think it's advisable if you can. You should separate your work system from your leisure system.
So you just suggested various preventive measures for an individual, like how to prevent from these attacks. What do you think are the facilities that would a company can give to an employee or a business can take up so that they can make sure that there's no attacks that can happen?
One of them is training. One of the practices. So there are several online from different organizations. Then whereby so you make sure like you pass this knowledge to the staff. Organization needs to like train the staff to understand like, okay, this can happen. This can happen. You can be attacked this way. So you need to be aware. So training is one of those things that is very important. Then you need what would I say? Like I said, centralized storage. You need to map access, like you map the connectivity active device where you make sure that, okay, if you say this is where your home, this is your home, then we are going to allow you to access our service from that particular location, the IP from that location. So now you force people to like, okay, work from their own place. Organization need to do that. Then on other things also, you see, working from home is not that easy to some extent. You can feel lazy and you can feel disconnected because of during long hours. You work long hours because you work from home and you don't have maybe closing time per se. But and so one of the thing companies can do is encourage productivity, staff working environment, whereby they organize events, function for other staffs to meet. They have so that they can encourage staffs so they don't feel tired, they don't get burnout, and they just feel like they're working alone. So organizations also need to like find a way whereby all their staffs can come together at a certain period of time to encourage productivity. I think that answers the question.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
to add
just
to
out
that,
of curiosity.
I think like when we talk about what companies can do,
Mm,
so this is something that came to my mind when you're talking. So when you are trying to secure your system, so the company might secure your system. Like one system
mm,
they've secured that they've given you all the prescripted security measures that you can take. You can have an antivirus there. You can have a secure channel. They can set up a VPN also. Everything can be
yeah,
done. But sometimes what
mm,
happens is the person instead of using their own secure device, they might start using their phone. Let's say the company is saying
mm,
that you have to send this and this data file to some other person. So what they'll do is just out of maybe the convenience sake, they might just send it over WhatsApp or Telegram or any other app, right? So that was
mm,
not prescribed by the company. So I think
mm,
what a company can do is they can prescribe such an app, like maybe they can have their proprietary app also, or they can have a particular, like a method they can use to send across files, which they can adopt everywhere. So
mm,
that having that protocol set will also go a long way in securing the data in transit.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, okay, so just out of curiosity, I'm asking, like, have you faced any attacks like while working from home?
Yeah, and it was a very big issue. One, it's actually from theft. Like I had my computer, and it was a huge mistake. I think I'm not going to repeat it again. And the backup of my computer, the contents of my computer were in the hard disk, and my hard disk and my computer were in the same place. So when the thief got access to the bag, they stole everything, including my backup, the main device. Oh, like it was very painful. Like, okay, this is something like I should be aware of. Separate your backup devices from your real devices. Make sure your backup device is elsewhere. So you don't walk around with it. And it was a very painful experience, which was not nice.
So how did you tackle it, sir? Like, how did you, make sure that it doesn't happen again?
One of them is I don't go out much with my work system. One of them, and also now I separate my backup device also, which is very important. My backup device is far away from my main device. That was one of the things I did, and I think most of the time now my backup is always on the cloud. It's normal on physical hard drive. So even though you steal some my computer, um, my backup is online. I can use any computer to access them, can download them maybe to a new system. That was one of the like this is things I did to stop this.
Okay. Sir, how should one act in case, if they become a victim of such attacks? Like, how should they proceed, sir?
One of the things I would use myself an example. The first thing I did was to go to the police, to the security, because yeah, I had sensitive information in there, so I reported to the police. So they said they were going to do investigation and get back to me. And because I told the police there is some documents where I needed to take to get back in office, but because of I reported to the police and they gave me a report, the organizations were not like and they were aware about it, and I could prove to them that okay, this and this happened to me because even the police where they've given me a report that I can show you, and like it happened. I hope, I hope that
Uh,
answers.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, what is the role of the cybersecurity when it comes to these attacks, sir?
The role of cybersecurity
Yes, sir.
um, in attack and like
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
like
Basically, in these attacks.
the role of cybersecurity in this kind of attack. It's one thing is make sure you encrypt your sensitive data. So even though they have access to it, like without, if they cannot encrypt it, so they don't have access to it. That is one. Make sure that most of your sensitive data encrypted. Only you can know the rest. We have different way of encryption where you can encrypt your data. Then also make sure you pass information through a secure channel where you communicate. you communicate through with your colleague or you send information back and forth. Make sure you use a secure channel where it's not risky. Somebody can just come and just sniff whatever you are doing at the same time.
Okay, sir. What do you think about cybersecurity in India, sir? Like, is it developing or is it developed? What do you think about it, sir?
That's a very good question. I was in India to learn cybersecurity. The it's growing. It's one of those places where most of these other places they do cybersecurity with like just practical with theory. They give you textbooks to read and all that. I went to India. I saw proper labs, like a working environment kind of labs where you can work with. So I think India, they are I won't say they are perfect, but they've gotten too far. What they've done is like very good already. They have different aspects, and I met a lot of people who are tech savvy, security savvy in there, and I think one of India is one of the top, I think, in tech right now in the world. So they have done a lot and they've contributed a lot. And also, other people get software and security devices from India also. Like my country, Nigeria, I remember, I said we spend about $80 million at some point just accessing in software and security devices from India in a particular year. That's a lot. Not only individual, the government going also to India to get this technology also back to Nigeria, so it will help other people. So India have gone far, but yeah, they can improve. But I don't see that they are almost there. But it's just also making people aware. And one of the things one of the challenges I faced also, I used to that time I used to shop on Flipkart. Then do shop and pay on delivery. Then I got this. Bought a flash drive of about 128 gig, and when they delivered, I paid. Immediately, I opened the carton. They've removed the 128 gig, and it's now 4 gig that was inside. I tried to recover it. So because I was a foreigner, the company couldn't return my money. They said I have to have a uh, Indian bank account before they return the money to me. But I understand they are working on that. Then there's this credit card scam also in India a lot, and it's not only in India, it's everywhere also. And there are measures there whereby the Indian government have put in policy for some banks you cannot withdraw to particular amount that look suspicious. They have a limit for what you can withdraw. And hello,
Yes,
hello.
she might be having some network issue. I'm here. I'm here, sir.
Okay, okay. So the Indian government have put in place also security measures to stop people from attacking, getting people scammed online, but it's still prevalent there. I think it can be better. It can be better, but it's also good. Does that answer the question?
Yes, sir. So, what are the various certification courses that are available for a new learner when it comes to cybersecurity, sir?
A new learner has to know, like the cybersecurity space is wide from different parts. There are hardware, there are software. Then you need to know the one you want to do. You can't just be a master of all. So there are aspects, but one of the basic one I think everybody um, advocates is this CompTIA, basic network security from the CompTIA A, which is a certificate for just early to get you in the security field. This is one of the certificates you take. Then there's other courses, like for example, Cisco, the CH, that's a certified ethical hacker. We have the Linux administrator or the Windows, what do they call it? Windows server and all that. So all those things, you need to be You need to have passion. You need to know the field where you have passion for. Do you want to work on the software side? Do you want to work on the hardware side? Are you understand? So for a learner, you should start with the basic, like just get to understand the network itself. For a learner, just understand the network, the different ways. Then another thing is you have to be reading blogs, proper blogs, like let's say, for example, Hacker News, Reddit. So you have to be also aware, like good, you can even set up Google alerts for news so that you can get information immediately attacks are happening. Mm, and on Twitter also, like there have been lots of from I think 2020 till date, not it didn't start 2020, but from 2020 there's been increased cyber attack because people are working now from home. There's been increased cyber attack. So a lot of things need to be considered. Stakeholders need to be involved. The manufacturer, the OEMs, the hardware manufacturer also have to be um, proactive. It's not just by producing the hardware, they have to also put security also in mind. It's not about just building the product. Then the people building the software also have to put the security aspect also in it. Then the organization needs to find a strategy of reporting, reconnaissance, finding vulnerability, and sometimes test the network. Let's say uh, do a phishing exercise where, like, for example, you say spot the phishing scam. Maybe an organization can just send an email to test people, sending them phishing link, but it's not that harmful. But they just try to test: do people fall for this and all that? I think answers the question.
Sir, you just mentioned about Cisco CCIE exam. So can you give us more insight about it, sir?
Cisco CCIE. Cisco is also broad. You need the routing and switching, the data part. But what I did was security. But I started from routing and switching, so CCNP, before moving on to CCIE for security. It's a very interesting uh, field. I learned a lot. When I was living in Nigeria, I didn't exactly know what I was going to do. But when I got there, the people there made it easy for me to understand. There are people where they were like, okay, you don't if you don't know this, they'll wait for you. They don't rush. Like let's say the other class I've understood, but you don't understand. So Cisco security, like it's wide. A lot of companies use Cisco devices, the IP phone, the servers, the FTD, the next generation firewall, and all that. So these devices are important, and the knowledge to configure them also, it's very important. People need to learn about them so that they can apply it. But it is different aspect, the routing and switching. But for the security, you need to know like the encryption and a lot of ways to communicate, how to set up proper VPN from site to site, or all those things.
Yes, sir. Sir, do you see any bright future for new learners in cybersecurity? Like, is this field blooming?
Yes, it is. It is because every day we hear of cyber attacks every day. If you're on the line online, I happen to follow the crypto industry, which also is an example of where a lot of people get scammed. A lot of people get scammed in crypto. So a lot of every day you see people like, okay, they've attacked this protocol, they've attacked this thing, and it can be improved. Well, sorry, I'm trying to get back my chain of thought. But please, if you can repeat that question so that I can complete the question. I just
Yes,
lost
sir.
it.
Sir, which kind of attacks do you think have the most impact, sir?
One
Which
of them
type of
is phishing and ransomware. Phishing and ransomware.
Okay, that
Um,
has the most impact.
yes.
Okay. Sir, do you have any advices for our participants, to Sir, do you have any, advices for our participants to, get better with this field?
It's also you need passion for it. You need to be curious about it. You're going to face a lot of challenges. When I started, uh, I was not thinking about even certificate. It was just out of curiosity and experience I've had. So I started learning different aspects, but I had this limitation of, okay, I need some devices where I don't have access to them. Maybe because I was student, I don't have money to buy them. And all these devices, they are not in my country. How do I get them to my country? There were challenges I faced. But one thing is, I didn't stop. I kept on learning. I kept on learning, following. Till I was able to get some extent where I was able to play with the real devices now instead of just simulating. There are many softwares you can use to simulate to learn, but those are like simulation. You need like physical devices also so that you can train with them. It's just not like you are reading theory now. It's practical. I think that's answer.
Yeah, sir. Sir,
Sir,
life.
even I have a question before. I think after that we can also have any participants who want to ask a question. So, sir, you're working in the space agency, right? So you're in the
Yeah.
space development and research agency. So, uh, can I ask what is a typical day like? Are you like configuring satellites? Do you actually happen to have visited the satellite? Have you gone to space or something like that? I'm just too excited for that field actually.
No. I work what I do is mainly research. Like if there's a mission, there we need to learn and train people who are working on the physical device. We need to provide material. I have to do research. Let's say, for example, what are the processes of um, getting a satellite to space? So you need to plan. I do a research. Then what one of the things I do is like the security aspect. How do you add security to this thing? You have to also, it's not that you just want it to work. And because a lot of ground stations are uh, prone to attacks. Then, for example, like in Ukraine, what just happened in Ukraine? Sorry, hold on. In Ukraine, because of the war with Russia, there was this attack that happened also like target and trying to get people were trying to block it, but it helped a lot because they cut off communications in different parts of the country. But the satellite communication helped with hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay.
So if participants have any questions, they can put it in the chat box.
Hello. Any questions?
Questions? Okay, we have a question, sir. Uh, so the question is from Pooja Pawar. So the question is networking and Cisco certification part of cybersecurity?
Yes, it is. It is. It is because in the routers, the edge, let me say the edge network, one of the things entering, um, you need they have routers, the Cisco have routers, they have devices where they are one of the major OEMs, equipment providers for for networking around companies, like example, the IP phone, the VPNing. So Cisco certification can go a long way in getting you into the cyber security space. to go a long way. Then it doesn't have to be that you go all out and say you want to do CCIE first. Like CCNA alone can give you basic understanding. It's also broad enough for like a layman or somebody that is just trying to start. Then as you work with experience, you can start upgrading. Like one of um, the CCIE is like the overall the highest you can get, I think, for any this CCIE for any of Cisco track. But there are many also track like the CCNA, the CCNP in different parts. So the Cisco security is very like it's important because of they have these the firewalls the companies use. For example, they have other companies that produce devices, but Cisco is one of the leading in the world. They've been there for a long time. So if you have a knowledge of Cisco security, like when you go to organizations, you will find these devices, I think, mostly there. So you will know how to relate to them. You know how to properly configure them. You know how to like block access from people, the access management, and all that. So basically, Cisco certificate is also like a good way, but it's not the only way.
Okay, so we have one more question from Nitesh. So, what will be the biggest challenges in cybersecurity in the next few years?
Biggest cybersecurity challenges in the next few years. I think most of them are already here. They can be evolving. It is evolving. Mm, we also need to be like the attackers are updating. They're not just like staying around like just stagnant and if it doesn't work, it's okay. So they are also learning just the way we are also learning to improve the security. The attackers are also trying to improve the way they can attack other people. So like the thing is if organizations, governments, and all stakeholders come together to communicate this, let's say, breach and best practices to mitigate these things, it will go a long way in doing that. So, but in the next few years, like most of us are now mobile. We're on mobile now. We don't actually need to be on computer before you can get attacked. So now a lot of smartphones are there. So I think we're going to see a lot of mobile attacks. Then, mm, like, let me see, what am I? I can't think of another example right now, but it is evolving, but you need to continue reading so that you can know how to mitigate these things.
Okay, sir. Sir, we have one more question. So, to make a career in cybersecurity, CCCNA is important or CEH?
As well, I can say certificate is important. The major thing is your knowledge, your practical knowledge. You have a certificate. I can just go maybe, there are many centers I can say they are not like legitimate, they're not that good. You can just go and buy certificates, you understand, and go. But if if you have the knowledge, let's say you have the CCNA and you apply it to company and they start giving you technical questions you cannot answer. So you see, it's not about the certificate itself. Some people don't need to have this certificate, but they have this security knowledge, best practices, like they can gain advantage over you when you go for a job. So it doesn't really matter if about the certification. It's about your knowledge, how practical you have been, and like what you know and how what you know properly about the security. Are you very like are you doing it to help? Are you doing it just to make money? Are you doing it because it's your passion? Are you doing it just because you don't have any option? And just this is what you just find yourself in. So it's more about you, your knowledge. Are you curious about the security aspect of it? So that's the most important thing, not this actual certificate. Do you have the knowledge? I started learning without even knowing that there are certificates about hacking. I started learning from my college days. I was not exposed to most of these certificates. But at the end of the day, I found out, okay, I can learn this thing. There are places where they have charts where you can learn it. But at the same time, if I had not started personally on my own, it would have been more difficult for me, like to even understand what they were teaching.
Yes, sir. So we have one more question that cybersecurity challenges in Web3 era.
And Web3 there are many things. Now, one of them is the uh, sharing of private key. That has to do with your personal security. Some people advocate for having hardware wallets. You seed freeze, you don't share your seed freeze, just like you don't share your ATM password or your card details. These are also challenges that people face. Now, these seed phrases, for example, to access your wallet, um, like you need to store them properly also. Then there's this challenges right now on like the DeFi space where they have breach attacks, which has been like this year. I've seen a major increase in attack from the bridging, where you are converting from one cryptocurrency chain from one blockchain to another blockchain. That has been the bridge there. I've seen an increase in attack 2022 alone. Hello?
Okay, so we have one more question. What are the key points and basic steps to learn?
Bugbounty. This is something I would say, okay, and it's not something it's not like something I've worked on, so I won't give you more. I cannot give you direct answer in bug bounty, but like there are many organizations like Facebook and Apple. They've set up like different processes where if you find the bug, you can report to them. But I cannot give you the basic steps to learn the bug bounty, but there are lots of tutorials, I think lots of materials online. I focus more on, let's say, penetration testing also. That like most of what I do. So bug bounty is just, okay, I've heard about it. I know just a little bit about it, but not something I've worked on properly. But it's also there. It helps the software people, the company to know, okay, you have this vulnerability, but I want to like give it to you. Some companies do pay for it. They have different bug bounty programs so that you don't sell to malicious people. So if they are not good program, these people that found the 0-day attacks, for example, can just sell to a malicious somebody. Hello.
I think, sir, that was all the questions right now. I think, sir, she's having some network issues. I'm here, and
Okay.
so I think it was a there is another question actually. Do you think having a digital forensics team as a medium-sized company is a must?
As a medium-sized company. Okay. The medium, let me see, as a medium-sized, they need it to require the team. It's going to be for a medium, you don't necessarily need a team, but it depends on the kind of company equipment you have. You can outsource most of these things. Like there are companies that can handle your security for you for a medium-sized company. Having for a medium, let's say, size company, it's not a must, but it's an advantage. It's not a must. It can be capital intensive. So because they are medium organizations, they might not have the resources to do that. So it's better sometimes it's just resources to the like example, let's say Fireshark they have a way of like, let's say, I'll manage your security for you for a company. So like it's if you can use third party, but also you have to know the proper third party. Some can be malicious where they sell your data to other people. But so you have to vet them, like industry have to like rely on them and all that also. So, but it's not a must for a medium-sized company to have, you can outsource it. But if you want it, it's can be capital intensive. Right?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
So I think just to summarize, since work from
Yeah,
home is here to stay, right? And
yeah,
from every one of your points, it is evident that it is not absolutely secure. There are pointers out there that we need to take care of, and if we do that, we might as well have we can carry on with this work from home style. And we have to believe that this is here to stay. We cannot just say that this is temporary, because
yeah.
we do not know what the future holds, and we might just have to switch to it permanently. So making it secure should be a priority, and as you
Yes.
rightly pointed out, those measures that can be taken by the companies and by the persons who are working from home as well. So
Mm.
if both of them work in a well communicated, well coordinated fashion, we can ensure cybersecurity at home as well. So
Yeah.
I think with that we can wind up today's session. So thank you so much for having taking out time for us and giving us such insights into the industry. And it was really a pleasure to interact with you, sir.
Thank you guys for having me also, and I really enjoyed it. And it's also my pleasure that like have this opportunity, and it's something like I like doing security and software and all the tech things is my passion. And to have people who want to listen to me, like it's a pleasure too. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And
Thank you for your enlightening words and sharing your knowledge with us, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to thank all the members of Fireshark company for their collective efforts to make this webinar a success. And also, I would like to thank all the participants for their participation and patient listening and making this session an interactive session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.